Today, I will tell you an inspiring story for when you feel like you can't go on, to help you achieve your goals. Once upon a time, there was a donkey named Ro, who was grazing while his owner slept in a nearby cabin. Suddenly, a crackling noise broke the silence of the night. Always alert, Ro pricked his ears, and from the shadows emerged an individual with a malicious gaze. Before the donkey could alert his owner, the dark figure muzzled him, and the noble donkey was cruelly torn from his home. The man took Ro to a place of despair and pain, a vast and arid land where even the air seemed poisoned. There, numerous skeletal donkeys wandered around mills, their eyes empty and desperate, and it seemed this would be their end as well. The owners of this unwelcoming place were a group of brutal criminals who embodied cruelty and greed, forcing the donkeys to work ceaselessly, barely providing them with water and food to keep them alive while whipping them to exploit them to the maximum. But this donkey, who had never known slavery, with an indomitable spirit, tried to escape on several occasions, but it was always impossible, and his attempts only resulted in brutal beatings. Every blow, every wound seemed to diminish his inner strength a little more. One lucky day, the farm gates opened and got stuck, leaving the entrance open waiting to be repaired, and the donkey, having lost so much weight in just a few days, saw a glimmer of hope in his eyes. Before him was an opportunity that might never present itself again. However, fear of a new punishment made him hesitate. He turned around to resist the temptation. It was then that a heron with snow-white feathers and eyes full of wisdom said to him, "What are you doing, boy? You can't miss this opportunity." The heron, which had observed everything from the branches of a nearby tree, encouraged Ro so insistently that in the end, the donkey found the courage to seize the opportunity. Without much effort, he freed himself from the chains and fled the farm with the heron flying by his side. However, the criminals did not stand idly by. They mounted their horses and began to chase the poor donkey. At that moment, it seemed the world was against Ro, as a torrential rain began to fall, as if those men had conjured the storm just to erase the donkey's only chance of freedom. The torrential rain turned the ground into a sticky swamp, preventing the donkey from seeing beyond his nose, making him stumble over logs and stones. Ro, already weakened by malnutrition and fatigue, struggled to stay on his feet, but those criminals were relentless. With tears of despair, all he could do was cry and repeat, "I can't do this." But he was not alone. The heron had flown above the clouds to escape the storm but had not abandoned Ro. Her voice, almost drowned out by the rain, encouraged him. "Keep going, Ro. Don't give up, please. Keep going." Her voice was a beacon of hope in the midst of the storm, and the only thing that kept the donkey from giving up entirely. Finally, when the criminals seemed about to capture him, the rain suddenly stopped, and Ro could see clearly. The brave donkey quickly realized that the settlement of his true owner was just about 300 meters away. Inspired, he gathered his last strength and ran towards that safe place. Seeing the settlement, the men retreated, finally freeing the donkey. Ro's owner ran out of his cabin and hugged him with tears in his eyes. The heron descended from the sky and approached Ro. The donkey looked at her gratefully and then asked, "Why did you have so much faith in me? If it weren't for you, I would have given up, and only God knows what would have become of me." The heron replied calmly, "The reason is that when you're in the middle of the storm, you mustn't stop. Never forget this. From the sky above the dark clouds where I was flying, I could see that you were running towards the end of the storm and towards a shelter. That's why I asked you not to stop, because I could see what you couldn't, and I knew you would soon be safe, even if you couldn't see it in the middle of the storm," explained the heron. In the darkest and most difficult moments that life can bring, when it seems we are engulfed by relentless storms of adversity, it's all too easy to lose sight of the faint ray of hope at the end of the dark and seemingly endless tunnel. And so, his life began anew. Little by little, he regained his strength and weight, and the heron, now a great friend, never left his side. Ro's extraordinary journey is a testament to the indomitable spirit that resides in each one of us. We often find ourselves gently pushed forward by invisible forces, forces that encourage us to persevere, even when the path ahead is darkened by darkness, uncertainty, and doubt. This story reminds us that hope shines brighter when the night is darkest, reaffirming our faith that, fierce as the storms of life may be, they will eventually pass, giving way to the radiant light of a brighter day. So, if you ever find yourself caught in the whirlwind of life's challenges, hold tightly to the story of Roe and the profound message it conveys. You too have the strength to persevere and not just survive but thrive. Let Roe's story be a constant source of inspiration that reminds you to never lose hope, to keep moving forward, and to have faith in the possibility of a better and more fulfilling future. I deeply appreciate your support and participation in this journey. I hope to continue connecting with each of you in future videos and to keep sharing valuable lessons. Always remember that you are beings full of potential, and every day is an opportunity to grow, learn, and live a full and abundant life.